Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox. I would like to welcome you to the Sunday Book Review. The Sunday Book Review is the series where I discuss books which impact the compliance practitioner, the legal professional, and the business professional. I hope you will enjoy this episode.
The Sunday Book Review for March 1, 2020, the Hilary Mantel edition. Today I take things in a little bit different direction, and we honor Hilary Mantel, whose recently released The Mirror and the Light is the third in a trilogy of books about Henry VIII and Thomas Cromwell. With The Mirror and the Light, she brings to a triumphant close the trilogy she began with Wolf Hall and Bringing Up Bodies. In it, she traces the final years of Thomas Cromwell, the boy who climbed from nowhere to the heights of power, offering a defining portrait of predator and prey, a ferocious contest between the present and the past, between a royal will and a common man's vision for the making of a modern nation. It all began with Wolf Hall, which was the start of Henry VIII's reign, where he wanted to annul, or rather in the middle of his reign, he wanted to annul his marriage of 20 years to Catherine of Aragon and Mary Anne Boleyn. The Pope and Europe opposed him, but Thomas Cromwell stepped in with a wholly original idea of taking the Church of England to England rather than being a part of the Roman Catholic Empire. In the sequel, Bringing Up Bodies, Henry became disenchanted with Anne Boleyn as she failed to give him a son, and her sharp intelligence and audaciousness alienated his old friends and noble families. At a word from Henry, Thomas Cromwell brings her down over a terrifying 3 weeks and is ensnared in a trap, and Jane Seymour stands waiting her turn for the wedding ring. This, of course, led to The Mirror and the Light, and this story begins where Anne is dead, decapitated in the space of a heartbeat by a hired French executioner. As her remains are bundled into oblivion, Cromwell breakfasts with the victors. The blacksmith's son from Putney emerges from this beheading to continue his climb to power and wealth, while his master settles a short-lived happiness with his third queen. Eagerly awaited and 8 years in the making, The Mirror and the Light completes Cromwell's journey from self-made man to one of the most feared, influential figures of his time, portrayed by Mantel with a pathos and terrible energy. Cromwell is as complex as he is unforgettable, a politician, a fixer, a husband, a father, a man who defied his rank and his age. It really is one of the most interesting historical trilogies around, and the final book has one of the great lines, which is, quote, "If you cannot speak the truth at a beheading, when can you speak it?" So why did I want to talk about Hilary Mantel, Thomas Cromwell, and Henry VIII on the Sunday Book Review? Well, I think, once again, the storytelling part of this is great. The history she packs into these three novels is great. It's absolutely fabulous history. But more importantly, it talks about the machinations at court. And I think that compliance practitioners, as they go up the ladder, get involved in corporate politics, obviously, and navigating that is one of the most important skills a compliance professional who does get into the CCO chair can have. Hopefully it won't be as bad as the court of Henry VIII, and certainly not around the selection and maintenance of his wives. Nevertheless, it can provide, I think, some interesting instructions about power, absolute power, how both of these can corrupt even the best of intentioned persons. And it's a great, great read. Great fiction, great historical fiction, great history. I'm sad that it's come to an end, but we all knew that it would. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.
Tough sanctions are not really those that turn out under the light of day to be as robust as previously claimed. So when we get to mid-April, we will have to see what the Trump administration does, if they will extend these waivers again or not. So once again, good news for the energy industry in Houston. Hope you have enjoyed this episode of the Daily Compliance News, which is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks again.